Guys, welcome back to my channel. In this lecture, we are gonna solve the few problems on list, double, set, and dictionary because I didn't solve any problems in the lecture. So because I didn't explain anything about loops and conditional statements, so I'm gonna solve now. Starting with the list, let's starting some of the numbers using the list. Let's create an list which includes every number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's create an variable sum. So which that can store an running sum. So let's use for loop for none. Sum becomes uh, print the sum. Let's gonna run this. You can see that the answer is 15 because when you add 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 4 is 10, and 10 plus 5 is 15. This is how you're gonna get a sum of uh, numbers in the list. Let's say briefly explain it properly. So for the first iteration, it's going to take the value 1. So sum becomes sum plus num. So the value of sum is 0 and the num is 1. Here the instead of I we use a num, so 1. So sum becomes 1. So now let's go to the second iteration, which is num is equal to 2, and sum becomes 2 plus sum becomes sum. What is the sum here? Sum becomes 1. So it's a 1 plus iteration we are using, that is num equal to 2, which is equal to 3. This is how it's gonna work. So the number becomes 3 and the sum becomes 3 plus 3, that is 6. Sum that is 4. Sum becomes 6 plus 3 minus 4, that's 10. The sum becomes uh, x iteration and let's say class iteration, that is 5. Sum becomes 5 plus 5, that is 15. So output will be the 15. You can see that output here is 15. So let's move to the another problem. checking an even number. Let's choose same and let's count the number of events present in the list. That is for you for num set for I and it's the condition of an even number. It should be divisible by 2 so that when it's with 5, when you divide with 2, the remainder should be 0. So count becomes count plus 1. Even numbers are let's print this. See that output here is 2 because there are only two prime numbers, two even numbers that is those are 2 and a 4. Explain you here. Let's take a number so I can explain clearly here. So, so instead of some we use count here. That's it. First iteration that is num equal to 1 and you know that the count becomes 0, not the count becomes 0 plus 1 that is 1. And let's go to the second iteration and use the second iteration. The count becomes, sorry, we should check the if condition here. So if condition is going to be false here, so we cannot get the count out before. So here the condition is going to be true. So count becomes 0 plus 1 is 1. In this, in case of num equal to 3, the condition is going to be false. So count becomes, there will be no count here. So next iteration that is num equal to 4. Here the count because here the condition is going to be true. So count becomes 1 plus 1. And last iteration that is going to be false, that is num equal to 5. So here the count value is 2. So the final output will be B. So you can see that our output here is 2. And let's see the how to find the one more problem, that is how to find the largest number in the list. Let's take a variable this. So let's take the first element of the list. We can use indexing here. So first element of the list is indexing value is 0. Why we're using the first element? Because we can use to compare the every element in the list. So we can use of for loop again here. For loop for in, if I is greater than n, largest largest becomes n. So largest becomes I, and exit the loop and print one. Just largest value is, let's gonna run this. So I'm getting an error here. If it's giving an error in if statement, uh, let's run one more time. It's giving error like this. Type error, change. Sorry guys. Here when print and n, it is giving an error because it is a data type of list when we cannot compare the integer with a list. So that's the mistake. I should use the largest value here. So run the code. See that the output is given as a largest value is 5. Okay, so we can get an maximum number. Now let's go to another simple problem, how to reverse the uh, list. It's we directly have an syntax building this. We have a direct syntax which is an reverse function. So list reverse function, reverse the list. See the problems on tuples. The first problem is merging two tuples without using a plus operator. Mistake and two tuples and tuple. can empty double so that we can store the elements. For I in the double one. Yes, I. When you're using double, you should keep down on because if you're not takes as an integer or any data type that you're storing as I, let's again do that I into result. Let's run the code. Let's see how the code is forward. Element of 1, 2, 3, and we use the first loop it. So when taking an I equal, the result becomes delta, which that means empty w plus I value. Let's go to a second. Take one and result becomes first loop. Uh, uh, with plus that means it's with this second loop and what I'll give the result. I will give the answer. finding the common element in the table, finding the common elements. Let's take double as let's take the common elements for this. Let's take an empty tuple to store the common values for this. So let's use the tuple. Then only we can say that it is we have common elements. Finally, let's come out of from the group and wait to the common elements. Let's see that the common elements are 5, 4, 2. So let's solve the code. Sorry, it should not be enclosed with the double quotes because it's unavailable. Run the code. So here it's a double quote. Once it brings it common elements of 2, 4, 5. This is how you find an common elements. And let's write the code for the sorting with using a sort function. So let's send it up. So let's take an double. Let's take random numbers and let's create a list here. Bring it into the list because a tuple is an order, but we cannot change the tuple items. So we use an list here. So we're gonna store the every element in a list. Let's take an n that is a length of the list. Let's take an outer loop first. By let's take add the two numbers, two adjacent numbers. Let's take temporary. That is list of say A becomes list say plus one. J plus one becomes 10. We should change the list into tuple. In single order. Let's see how this code works. Let's see how this code is going to be work. First, we're going to change the list. Uh, Change the tuple to the list first. Cannot we cannot tuple is an immutable. You cannot change anything about the change into list first. So this becomes 5. With the list, we take an length, that is the number of elements present in the list. So there are 5 items. So that would be 5. So first for loop is used to get how many iterations you want to use. So let's try to move to the second loop. Step first iteration is 0, and moving to the second loop, it's basically second loop where compares the adjacent items. So range becomes minus 1. The range will go up to 4. So that's the first element first. So we're taking J first iteration is J equal to 1. let's say plus 1 compares the two items in the list. So check this condition list of j it is 5 it's greater than 2. It's going to be this condition is going to be true. So if statement is going to work. So like we get an temporary. So temporary becomes 5 and list 2 becomes list of j becomes list of j plus 1. So 0 becomes j plus 1 that index value is 1. So first index value of 1 is 2. It becomes 2. And list of list j plus 1 that is 1 becomes 5. That is temporary. This is how you compare an two adjacent templates. Now we move to the j becomes here free. So again here because the range is up to the four. It compares j equal to 1, which is an 5. Based on the games. Store j that is the store 1. The condition is 1. Store j plus 1 that is 2 is 8. By comparing this to the condition, it's going to be false, so there is no need to sort the element here. This is how we check and adjacent elements, and then we like goes to the second iteration and third iteration up to fourth iteration, and we'll get the final output as I like when it's go to I go the second iteration and third iteration up to the fourth iteration because n values I will go up to the 4 times. It iterates up to 4 and will compare every element with an adjacent element in the set in the group. Let's see how this code is going to be work. First, we're going to change the list. Uh, Change the tuple to the list first. Cannot we cannot tuple is an immutable. You cannot change anything about the change into list first. So list becomes 5. With the list, we take an length, that is the number of elements present in the list. So there are 5 items. So that would be 5. So first for loop is used to get how many iterations you want to use. So let's try to move to the second loop. Step first iteration is 0, and moving to the second loop, it's basically second loop where compares the adjacent items. So range becomes -1. The range will go up to 4. So that's the first element first. So we're taking J first iteration is J equal to 1. Let's say plus 1. Compares the 2 items in the list. So check this condition, list of J, it is 5. It's greater than 2. It's going to be this condition is going to be true. So if statement is going to work. So like we get an temporary. So temporary becomes 5, and list 2 becomes list of J becomes list of J plus 1. So 0 becomes J plus 1, that index value is 1. So first index value of 1 is 2. It becomes 2. And list of list J plus 1, that is 1 becomes 5. That is 10. This is how you compare an two adjacent templates. Now we move to the J becomes here free. So again here, because the range is up to the 4. It compares J equal to 1, which is an 5. Based on the games. Store J, that is the store 1. The condition Well, so a plus 1 that is 2 is 8. By comparing this to the condition, it's going to be false, so there is no need to sort the element here. This is how we check and adjacent elements, and then we like goes to the second iteration and third iteration up to the fourth iteration, and we'll get the final output as I like when it's go to the I go the second iteration and third iteration up to the fourth iteration because n values I will goes up to the four times. It iterates up to four and will compare every element with an adjacent element in the set in the group. So it's simple problem to find the largest element, largest word. Just that. So let's create a set. And let's see how to find the largest element. So let's create an empty string. uh, which one so if we can first go in set if then those let's create pineapple, just a minute, this another, let's check. I want to keep the eye here, also. You can see the output is given as a water balloon because it is the largest word in the set because it's have 11 characters. Check how it works. Take an first let's take a look. First we have an app. So app it of I is 4 and the length of longest is 0. So the longest becomes added. Condition is going to be also the longest becomes added. And let's move to the second iteration, which is in banana. Again, the condition is going to length of I, which is banana, is 6. The length of banana is 6, and the length of apple is 5. So length of I is greater than length of longest. The condition is going to be true again. So the longest becomes watermelon. Sorry, banana. So iteration of the watermelon. So one condition is going to be true here. Because watermelon has 11, like it's 11, so banana is only 6. So condition is going to be true. So the longest becomes water. So if then we go to the other iteration, which is a pineapple, and if the condition is going to be false, so we cannot print anything. And it moves to the last iteration, which is cherry. And here again, we will get an if the condition is going to be false, so the longest will be the pineapple. That is the output with the pineapple. Longest varies. Whatever. One more problem. It's only, but this time let's find an item which starts with and capital A, or you want to take any value. Let's take an item. So, let's take a fruits again. So, apple. Let's take another fruit, which is avocado. Let's write out pronounce it. If you want, you can take any element which starts with B or anything. So, let's go confirm to take every element from the array. Let's try it. If A dot starts with it's an of string function which to find whether a string is starting with an element or not, element or not. So you can see that apple and avocado as well. Okay. So if you want to, if you are writing in small a, and you want to get an starting with an A or capital A. You want to starting with an A, but you are taking when it starts with capital A. So let's build an let's take an uppercase A dot upper. So on to use after because it's not in string, it's an set, so we can't use and start point and from the you can say that output is good as apple and avocado. Or if you want to print with T also starts with T. You can see the output avocado banana apple. So this all we check the items of starting with an character that you want. To the dictionary problems, starting with the sum of dictionary values. So, dictionary values. Let's create a dictionary which belongs to words. Basically, dictionary is nothing but storing the key value pairs. Let's take mathematics. The marks will be like Chess. You can take any marks that you want. That's take an variable that stores an values. So this get the values I and print the and exit the loop and print the dot. And that sum is given as a 240. 90 plus 80 is 170. 170 plus sum is 240. So we check kind of sum of the dictionary values. Let us do the sum of let's check highest marks. The same going column. Condition changes here. Let's take and let's change the variable as highest. Date and if statement. Here. Y is correct then highest. Highest becomes box. Exit the loop and print the highest. And check what's another. Check click I here because of we can't compare integer with an dictionary. We should compare only integer with an integer. So that's becomes 9. And that's from the programs. And see that what is known as community because it's the highest marks that we ordered the dictionary. See some math functions. So what we teach for is minimum, which is used to find the minimum value. For example, let's also cover the max and see the example. So we have to find the maximum value. Let's take an you know Let's also take y and print the x and y. Print and we can have x y so from these videos. Top 3 and 45 as in value and the maximum value is 45. And let's see one more function that is this function is used to turn the negative value into positive. It turns negative to example. Let's say let's get this so for print that's random number. Positive. And let's see few more function. Uh, powers value in export right. Let's take if we have an x and y values. If we want to go in the x power y, x power of, let's see with an example. If we want for q, use 4 comma, print that x. That output is given as 4q, that is 64. This is the use of power function. And now let's see on about the math modules. Basically, Python has an uh, basically Python has an built-in math library Python has that we should import the math, which is the syntax to import math. Then our first module, which is math dot square root. If we can find the square root of any value with this function, let's see with an example. So first we should import the math module, and let's create a variable that we want to find the square root of 64. Math root of 64. Yeah, let's run the code. 8 because 64 square root is an more module, which is C. Basically, C is used to round off the value to the nearest integer, which is a greater than 1.4. Let's run this. This one has like 2, and we have one more math module called the floor, which is used to round up the nearest value with less than 1 point, less than this, less than the value that we want. Like the code. It's not giving any values. See the output is given as 1. There is one more function which is called a pi. We know that value of pi is 3.14 and so on. So we want an exact value of pi. We should use a math module, math.pi, and we want to rename this. As 3.14 and so on. And let's see few more modules. Factorial. Anyway, number. You can see that is 4 factorial is 24. With this, we can find the, which is with this model, we can find the factorial of any number. So guys, let's see in another lecture. So thank you.